Greetings, LOHS parents. This is Mr. Polonkey. This is a curriculum video for geology. Thanks for checking in tonight. Administration wanted us to just remind you how important attendance is for our students, being that we're on a block schedule. Every day is essentially 2 days of curriculum. So this is an area of focus. You're probably seeing that in all of the teacher notes, and a summary of what their statement is basically we really look forward to seeing your child as regularly as possible, and making up a single day absence is really 2 days absence. So we enjoy having your student in class and look forward to seeing them every day that's possible, but of course with understanding that things do come up. And we'll talk about how to make that up just briefly here in a moment. Uh, my name is Mr. Polonkey, and here's some of my students in the past. I think this pretty much summarizes my attitude and disposition in the classroom. It's all about the students, and I really enjoy watching them wonder about the world, make discoveries, do labs. Now, that's not to say that there won't be some notes in this class, because I think there is still room for some traditional instruction, especially given my expertise in the field of geology. I've traveled the world and done a lot of rock climbing and mountaineering, so I hope they gain from my experiences, but certainly discovery is definitely part of my emphasis in the classroom. Now, along that same vein, you probably noticed when you signed your parental consent for your student to go off of the premises. This is just another area of my emphasis. I really enjoy taking the students into Bald Mountain State Recreation Area. There are many rare and endangered habitats, as you probably read about it. I would like them to have shoes and a sweatshirt readily available. They will always be on notice if there is a day that we're going to do a more adventurous walk. In other words, like the potential for getting muddy. So if they can't leave a pair of shoes in class, they're welcome to take and return those shoes back home as well. So looking forward to spending a lot of time in the woods with your child and our students. Just a little background. These are some updated pictures of my family. I have a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old that are in college together, playing lacrosse at Lehigh University at Bethlehem, PA. And then I have a daughter who plays volleyball and is in the OTech Health Sciences program at Clarkston. And I spend all my waking hours either with my family or exercising or doing some sort of adventure. And this was just a couple years ago, Mount Whitney in California. I've done Half Dome and Rainier and Hood and Adams, and I love spending time out west, and I hope to share my love of the outdoors with your student as well. Real quick on the curriculum side of things, for the next couple of weeks, we'll be learning about, if you notice to the left there, minerals, rocks, mining resources, and earth history. It's pretty intense. I kind of take charge of that instruction, and I just want to deliver the instruction pretty quickly and get them working on projects, then have them identifying rocks and minerals. I would never expect your student to just outright memorize a mineral. There's always a story. So minerals break and have certain characteristics, and it would be pretty neat if they happen to remember some of the reasons why that happened. But more importantly, when they break and have characteristics, how does that affect our ability to extract resources? And how do those resources affect our economy? And how does that affect even geopolitics? We'll talk a little bit about Canada is one of our largest importers of crude oil and aluminum, and why the oil and aluminum comes from Canada. So this is OneNote. It supports all of their needs, all of their worksheets. Everything would be here if they were to miss a day. The filled in notes, the extra worksheets, and everything would be right there. And last final note, the biggest grade in the class is the Geology National Parks Tour project. There's 2 parts. You can see here, this is the rubric for the summary paper. And it really is just about 8 or 9 paragraphs. Quick introductory paragraph, for example, Denali National Park, known for the tallest mountain in North America, also one of the largest tundras and containing permafrost, etc., etc. So just a basic introductory paragraph. And then the building of Denali National Park would start with the oldest rock. So whatever the oldest rock in the park is, then you'd kind of build on that. They have specific lists of things that they have to mention about their park. It's all on the rubric. Then the sculpting of would be a specific river or glacier. So if it was Denali, it would probably be maybe the glaciers and the glacial meltwater and the outwash plains. And then a specific environmental issue does not have to be in the national park. It could be from the region. But that is the paper, and it's due actually this Friday. We started last Friday. And it sounds like a lot. It's 100 points, but that's a rough draft. And because it's a big project, I want to give you an idea of where they stand very early in the class, their motivation, their effort. If they don't turn it in, it will be a 0 starting the following Wednesday. But it doesn't stay a 0. They can turn it in. Let's say they get a C. We'll make sure they get that paper back on that following Monday. This is the time dedicated. If they turn in their paper on that Friday, I will grade all of the papers and return it to them. Their rough draft, then, now they can start to work to make changes for it, and now they can have confidence that when they go to work on their presentation, they know exactly what the nuts and bolts are of the geology, and that they understand the geology. And now in the presentation, it'll be just pictures and or graphics. Many of these pictures and graphics will just come directly from their summary paper, and then they're going to add in some rocks, minerals, environmental issues, of course, as a translation from their paper, animals, ecosystems, some plants, and that is going to be their presentation. It's a sliding scale, and how this works is there's only one presentation through a day, and it's usually 3 to 4 presentations a week. So when we're talking about mountains, there would be all of our mountain presentations, deformation, volcanoes, erosion, and glaciers and coral reefs. The nice thing about the way this all ends up working out is the students start to do a lot of the instruction in terms of the vocabulary, the nuts and bolts, and then we have good class discussion. And then we also, you'll note that in that list there, each park has an item that the student is supposed to bring. So this is the project. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And like I said, I've spent all my waking hours outdoors, my wife and I in the Tetons at the top of Mount Wheeler. And then we spent a lot of time doing hunting. These are the boys, the same boys that I said were 20 and 18. I would imagine this is when they were, I don't know, 14 and 12, and that was Hunter's first duck. So I hope your students will learn a lot from this class, Geology, and I appreciate you checking in. Please don't hesitate to reach out.